A California man is facing federal charges for the attempted murder of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. The suspect was arrested near Kavanaugh's home in Maryland. Scott MacFarlane is on Capitol Hill with more.
The FBI says Nicholas Roski traveled across the country from California before appearing just after 1 a.m. outside the suburban D.C. home of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh with a backpack carrying a knife, a Glock, ammunition, pepper spray, and zip ties. According to an affidavit, the 26-year-old admitted he bought the gun with the intention of breaking into the justice's home and killing him. But local police tell CBS News Roski called 911 on himself. Court filings from prosecutors say Roski was upset about the leaking of that draft opinion indicating the court is poised to overturn abortion rights and was concerned Kavanaugh would rule to loosen gun laws.
You don't care, people die.
His arrest comes amid fears about the safety of the justices. There have been several recent peaceful protests outside the justices' homes. The Attorney General just recently ordered beefed-up protection at justices' homes.
Threats of violence and actual violence against the justices, of course, strike at the heart of our democracy, and we will do everything we can to prevent them and to hold people who do them accountable.
The FBI affidavit says Roski found Kavanaugh's address on the Internet. Judge Esther Salas, whose son was murdered 2 years ago at her home, is urging Congress to pass a bill to bolster security for judges and their families.
To our members of Congress, this is a life or death decision that they have to make. And for them to act now in a bipartisan way to ensure that no other judicial officer ever loses his or her life.
And Scott joins me now. Scott, the suspect had his first court appearance Wednesday. What more can you tell us? And do we know why he called 911 on himself?
No, but that 911 phone call audio is expected to be released to CBS News tomorrow, according to the local police here in suburban Washington, D.C. It was an initial appearance today for Nicholas Roski at the federal courthouse in Greenbelt, Maryland, which means we didn't hear much about the case beyond the court filings and the court documents. Both the police locally and the FBI in their court affidavit say it was Roski who called 911 on himself. The motives alleged in the charging documents and the court filings is that he was upset about the leak of that draft opinion and that he was also upset about the recent school shooting in Uvalde and specifically concerned that Justice Kavanaugh would be part of ruling to loosen gun laws, and that he purchased the pistol, Lana, with the intent of using it first on Justice Kavanaugh and then against himself.
Scott, you mentioned additional security measures are being put in place to keep the Supreme Court justices safe. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, extra security. First of all, at the courthouse. If you walk outside the Supreme Court right now, you'll see an 8-foot black metal fence surrounding the entire complex. From the outside, it has the look of a bit of an encampment. There's also police presence and a public street outside the Supreme Court that is now blocked to traffic, closed. So the perimeter looks very similar to the perimeter we saw here at the U.S. Capitol after January 6, 2021. But what members of Congress are considering is formal legislation to either expend more money or authorize more security for the judges, the federal judges, at their homes to protect the judges, protect their families, and there's even consideration of finding some way to require or authorize the removal of home addresses of federal judges online. Not clear how that would work, but there's an interest in that both from members of Congress and that federal judge from whom we just heard.
Right.
The judge whose son was murdered and husband attacked 2 years ago.
That's such a tragic story. Scott, as we've been discussing, last month the Senate passed a bill that would allow Supreme Court police to provide extra security for justices and their families to that point. Tell us, what's the status of that legislation in the House?
Well, the technicality is that Congress has to authorize and legislate to give federal police forces more capability, at least in some cases. So there's a formal piece of legislation to do just that, to give the Supreme Court police and other federal law enforcement the capacity to do more and expand further their protection of the judges and their families. It has bipartisan support, which puts it in a unique place in this Congress. How fast will it be moved on? After today, it could be on a faster track. Look for it maybe in the coming weeks, if not days.
You know, Scott, this planned attack against Justice Kavanaugh comes just a day after the Department of Homeland Security issued a bulletin warning of violence ahead of a Supreme Court decision on abortion. Where else are we seeing these threats of political violence?
By orders of magnitude, Lana, there have been more threat investigations against Congress. Go back 5 to 10 years, there were far fewer threat investigations than there were in the past 12 months when those investigations were measured in the thousands. The Capitol Police here at the Capitol Complex have a larger budget because of it, more than $500 million a year in funding for the U.S. Capitol Police. And now they're going farther and wider to protect members of Congress in their hometowns, on airplanes, and as they move outside the protective shield of the U.S. Capitol.
All right, Scott, thank you.